Hi guys, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So this speed build is one that I've been wanting to share with you guys for probably the past like 2 weeks almost by now. But yeah, basically this speed build is the first speed build in a brand new build series that I want to do. So this build series will have 10 different builds in it and it's called Berry Builds, and basically it's about the, or not it's about it, but it's basically centered around the Not So Berry challenge that Little Simsy and Always Simming created way back in I think 2017 or something by now. But basically everyone has either attempted the Not So Berry challenge, or they've completed it, or they've watched Let's Plays or followed Tumblrs or something like that that's centered around the Not So Berry challenge. It's probably one of the most like popular Sims challenges out there, like legacy challenges, because it is a 10 generation legacy challenge. And basically what you have to do is you create your Sims. You start out with the mint generation, so that's the house that we're building today. We're building a very minty themed house, and the first generation is mint, and then you move on to the rose generation. So for me, the rose generation has always been like red basically, and the reason I go with red for mint whenever I do this challenge is because you have a generation later on that's actually supposed to be pink themed, and I just don't want to have like two pink themed generations, if that makes sense. But basically you can make, you can have the colors represent whatever you think they represent. But yeah, basically then you have the second generation, which is rose, then you have yellow, which is the third one, fourth you have gray, and fifth you have plum. So plum is like not peachy, what am I saying, plum is like purple colored. And then you have generation 6, which is orange, then 7, which is pink, like I said, then you have 8, which is like peach. And peach for me is kind of like, it's not orange, but it's not pink either. So yeah, it's kind of like a little in-between color. And then you have generation 9, which is green. And then your last generation, 10, is a blue. So those are that's the order in which we're going to be building these houses as well. I'm actually already working on the rose one that should be coming up within the next few weeks, maybe next week or something like that. But basically the mint generation is like the little synopsis for the mint generation says that you're a mischievous scientist that really loves the color mint. You're career driven but still make time for silly pranks and outings with your closest friends. You love luxury and you want the best for yourself and your family. So that's basically the idea behind the mint generation. And you do have specific traits that you have to give your Sims for each generation. They don't all have like 3 traits. Some of them are a little more open-ended, but all of the like careers that you have to give them and all of the traits and the like objectives of each generation is different for like each one. So that's really nice. It kind of forces you to play the game in ways that you probably never would have played it in if you had just stuck to your like regular way of building. But yeah, so my recording software just kind of froze up for a second, so I have no idea where I am in the build. And yeah, I'm all out of sync right now, which kind of sucks, but yeah, there's not much I can do about that unless I want to restart this whole voiceover, which I don't want to do. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about random stuff, and I'll point some things out about the build once I think we've gotten to it. But yeah, like I said, it's a little bit out of sync, so I might mention something and it hasn't happened yet, or it already happened quite a bit ago. So yeah, sorry about that, you guys. But basically, the mint generation, you do have to give your Sims 3 traits. You have to give them, for the mint generation, they need to be vegetarian, jealous, and materialistic. And because your Sim is supposed to be mischievous as well, you have to give them the Chief of Mischief aspiration, and they do need to be in the scientist career. So not every generation has a specific career that your Sim has to be a part of, but a lot of them do have to, you have to do a certain career with your Sim. And then the rules for this generation is master the scientist career and complete the chief of mischief aspiration, master the mischief and logic skills, and complete the elements collection. So yeah, that's basically the rules for this generation, and that's why you guys will see me later on when we get to doing the study of this build. I do put in one of those elemental, like, I guess, yeah, it's basically where you do the elements collection. You kind of put all of the little elements in there, and that's how you can see how far you've gotten, basically. The display rack, that's the word that I'm looking for. But yeah, so this build, a little bit more about the build. This build is built in Oasis Springs, and I did it in Oasis Springs because that's where I personally started my Not So Berry challenge when I did this myself. And I haven't completed the challenge, by the way. Like, I've never completed this challenge. The furthest I've gotten is, I think, the 3rd generation, going on, almost onto the 4th one. So I'm definitely not like a pro at this challenge or anything. I know of a few people that have completed this challenge. And yeah, my friend Nicole NEECXLE'S actually has a Not So Berry challenge that she has running on her YouTube channel right now. She's still playing it. I believe she's on generation, I think 9, or maybe she's on generation 10. I can't really exactly remember, but I'll leave Nicole's channel linked down below in case you guys want to go and check out her videos. She makes some amazing Sims content, and I always love her videos. And yeah, definitely go and check that out. But basically this challenge, or not this challenge, but this house, like I said, in Oasis Springs, because that's just where I started my Not So Berry challenge. And for some reason, whenever I think about a sim that's in the scientist career, I always feel like they would, you know, like living in Oasis Springs for whatever reason. But yeah, so it's in Oasis Springs. It's on a 30 by 20 lot. It's 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. But it could technically be 3 bedrooms if you wanted it to be. I basically just built it as 2 bedrooms because I didn't think that this would be like your end game house. This wouldn't be the house that you live in, you know, once your sim has amassed a fortune and once you're like really close to completing the generation. That's kind of not how I envisioned this house. I also didn't think this house would be a starter home in the traditional sense because it is very expensive. It's almost 117,000 simoleons, so it's very expensive. But the challenge rules, the Not So Berry challenge rules, actually say that you can use money cheats. You can use cheats, just don't use them like exorbitantly. I don't know if that's the word. Don't go overboard with it, basically. Whereas the rules actually mention that you could probably use the free real estate cheat to move your sim into their first house, which is how I've always done it. I've always created my sim, used free real estate to move them into a really nice house. This one, for example, I would move my sims into this house, and then I wouldn't cheat their money. I would cheat their money down to maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 simoleons or whatever I thought would, you know, work. And then I wouldn't cheat again for the rest of that generation. So no matter how much their bills are or anything like that, they have to work to earn enough money to pay their bills or expand on the house or upgrade things or, you know, anything like that. So I would cheat to get them their their original house, and then they'd have to earn the money to like keep living in that house, if that makes sense. So that's the kind of how I pictured this house, as a starter house, but not really a starter, if that makes sense. So you guys will see that when we get to furnishing the 2nd bedroom, that's the room that I thought would be for the Rose generation, for your heir. And I only pictured the sim to have 1 child at this point in the challenge, at the point, you know, where I pictured it anyway. I would picture them only to have 1 child, so that's why I only added 1 children's bedroom. But then obviously we have the master bedroom with an ensuite, we have the family bathroom, and then we also have the study that we're going to be working on. And that study could easily be another bedroom. It's very big. It's more than big enough to have another bedroom in there if you know, want to move all of the stuff out and just find a different space for the desk for your sim or anything like that. You could totally do that. But yeah, that's why I said I didn't picture this house to be like end game, because I also end up furnishing the like child's bedroom. I end up furnishing that to be for a toddler. So obviously I thought your sim might have just had their like rose generation heir and they're not a child or anything like that yet, and maybe by the time they're a child your sim has moved into another house, or by the time they're a teenager or something and you've moved into a different house and your sim maybe has a few more kids or whatever, depending on how you want to play it. But yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going to do for most of these like builds that I'm doing for this series. They'll either be end game houses in the sense where they're very expensive and I think your sim was already quite a little bit like far into their generation and completing their goals and making a bunch of money, or they'll be like this house where I thought, you know, you can use the free real estate cheat and then, you know, have them live in a kind of nice build while still not having it be like super huge and anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking for this series. There definitely won't be any starter houses in this series. That's just not gonna happen. But if that's something you guys would like to see a little bit more of on the channel, like starter houses, things like that, definitely let me know, because it's not something that I tend to do a lot of on the channel, mainly because I feel like they're very boring. I feel like starter houses are always so boring to watch. They're not necessarily boring to build, but they're just not the most like detail oriented builds, obviously, because you can't like go all out with clutter and decorating and things like that. So yeah, that's usually the part of builds that I enjoy the most when I watch speed builds. So yeah, but definitely let me know if you guys want to see more like starter houses or restricted pack builds as well. That's something else. I actually have a base game only build coming out next week, probably on like Monday of next week. I'll have a base game house on the channel, and then let me know if you guys want to see any other like base game builds or like restricted pack builds. And if you want to see more restricted pack builds, let me know what packs you'd like to see, like for example cats and dogs, just as an example, cats and dogs, parenthood and laundry day together, or something like that. But give me like 1 or 2 different packs, or maybe more. I'm gonna cap it at like 5 packs, no more than 5 packs, but no less than 2 for like the restricted pack builds. I think that could be a nice, like a little fun thing to do on the channel every now and then, would be more like restricted pack things and stuff like that, because I know not everyone has all of the packs. I mean, I have everything, but it's basically one of the only games that I really play, so that's kind of how I justify having everything, if that makes sense. But I know not everyone does, so doing some more restricted pack things could be a lot of fun, and it could be a little bit more inclusive as well if you guys want to download my builds. But speaking of downloading it, this build is up on the gallery if you want to download it. It's up on the gallery under #berrybuilds. And I did search that hashtag on the gallery and I couldn't find anything else uploaded with that hashtag. So yeah, it's probably something that's fairly unique to this series, which is actually very great. So yeah, you guys can search for #berrybuilds. You can also search for #ChrissieYT, or you can go to my gallery page, which is just ChrissieYT as well. And I'll have all of that information down in the description below in case you want to just look at it or, you know, do anything like that. And I'll also have a direct download link down below to the online gallery website if it's easier for you to grab it that way. But yeah, I thought this would be a fun series to do. I mean, I'm not going to be starting the Not So Berry challenge on the channel or anything like that. It's just not going to happen. I just can't commit to doing a let's play that has to be like 10 generations or anything like that, especially because I haven't even finished this challenge in my own gameplay. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing a let's play. But feel free to use my houses for whatever, you know, if you want to play this challenge or anything like that, feel free to use them. But yeah, I hope you all liked this build. If you did like the build, give this video a like. And if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. But yeah, I hope you all really like this challenge, not the challenge, but this like series based on the challenge, I guess. But yeah, I really liked building it, and this is something that I've kind of been thinking about doing for a while, and I just didn't because I didn't know how you guys would feel about having these very like color restricted or color oriented builds. But I think they're very fun to build. Honestly, it's very fun to just have a very set color scheme to work with, and to already have kind of like the, I guess, the personality of the sim that you'd have living there already planned out. In this case, with the scientist, with them being a scientist, I thought they would be very into green energy, and they would have a bunch of crystals and rocks around and space themed things and stuff like that. So that's something that's really fun with doing a series like this. But yeah, let me know if you want to see any other, like I said, restricted pack builds, base game builds. Let me know themes or any ideas that you guys have for builds. Leave those down below. I love getting suggestions from you guys and hearing what you would like to see and stuff like that. And I do write everything down, so when they sound fun, like in the moment, I do end up doing them. But I hope you're all having a great day and that your week has been great, and I will talk to you in my very next video. Bye everyone.
Take me anywhere that you want. I don't even care if we come back again. And as long as the stars are shining above us, then I just wanna be where you are. I don't wanna close my a moment of you. And as long as the sun shines upon us, and I just wanna be where you are. 'Cause with you I feel no fear, and when you hold me, all my wounds are healed. When I'm with you, I feel safe. There is no pretending, no need to escape. And I know I just wanna be where you are. I know everything has an I know that we are not getting any younger, but as long as there is time, I will walk beside you, 'cause I just want